Hello, I hope everyone is fine and safe, and I also hope that you would have downloaded, watched the part 1, and completed some of the work, if not completed the whole thing. This is a part 2 where I will provide you further information about our task. So once you have completed the task, part 1 of the task, your Word document should look like this, right? So you have typed all the uh, titles, the fields, all the text. So remember this document I showed you in my previous video, and in the PDF file which I sent to you later, right? But this is how it will look like in the Microsoft Word. Okay, and you know the difference why we want it in Microsoft Word, because we want to embed the data into this document. If it is a PDF document, it's not that easy. We can still do that, but you need a special additions of the Acrobat and things like that, and that's not the right way anyways. So once you have this document ready in Word, the next thing is, where is our data going to be present, right? So that we are going to make in an Excel file. So just like we did Word template, we are going to have a template. We are just calling it a template. We are not saving it as a template file. If you know, in Excel you can save a file as a template as well. We are still going to save it as normal Excel file, but for our own convenience we are calling it template, just to keep it sync with the whole task. Okay. So what are the fields which we need to have? Ideally you should be able to do this, but to save time, and I know and this is not in class activities these days, so to cut down that short the time, what I will do is I will share this Excel file with you, so you do not need to worry about the structure. Okay, but just for your benefit, I'm going to just discuss this a little bit. So we have a field called SID, date, title, F underscore name, that's the first name, last name, start date, end date, course name, diploma. Okay, all these fields are the ones which we will link it with our Word template to get the data. So for example, there is a fee information here, right? So when we link it, it will come to this field or this column or this area basically. All right, and to make it a little easier, that what kind of data you will have to add in this Excel file, I have added one sample row here, right? And what I would expect from you is to add further at least three more rows, okay, including one where you put your own name, okay, your own first name and last name. I would suggest not to put any other information correctly, which means like phone numbers or the emails. I do not need that because we are just testing this functionality, right? So you can make up any name here, program name. You can put your program name. If you are aware of any other program in college, you can type that in here. So fill up at least the columns which you see it here in the sample row, the row number 2, right? Email, if you put everything same, then you may not be able to see the difference when it is linked with the Word file and when we preview there, right? So I would say keep it change. Like for example, in one if you put Toronto, the other one you can change the city name, apartment number, email, just put something different. Okay. Like I said, you do not need to add all the fields, but if you can, that will show up. So whatever you have here, when we are going to link this, will be displayed in these fields. So whatever field is left blank in your data set will not show up here. Okay, so once you will see it, it will become more clearer. Okay. So again, this is the file. I'm going to send it in my next email, and I expect you to add 3 or more. It's up to you. You can have more fields, more rows if you want to see the functionality. But in practical terms, this is where your data will reside. So for example, going back to our earlier example, if we have information about 500 tenants, right? So all 500 tenants might be here, or it could be in your database system from where you could extract it into Excel. Okay, so point is, wherever your data is, whatever data source you are going to link with the Word file should relate that. Okay, and there is one step which is required to do that. Okay, so now we have a Word template and we have Excel template. So what's next? The next is to link these two together, okay, to establish a link. And this is where I want you to pay attention, because it might be a little bit confusing for the first time, but when you do it a few times, you will master this feature and this skill. It's not the hardest of the skills. It's one of the very easy ones and very powerful ones. Okay, so to start the merging process, we will go to the mailing option. Now I must say that depending on the version of Microsoft Word, this might look a little bit different, but options is the same in across all the editions. All right. Now you go to the mailing, and before I actually link it, I would want you to pay attention to this section, this group of commands, okay, which is under the write and insert field section. Okay, so as you can see, these are all grayed out, which means we cannot click anywhere on these options. Okay, and the reason is because at the moment there is no data set linked with this file. Okay, so I would like you to pay attention when the data is linked, how these fields will become active and enabled, and then we can use them for different purposes. Okay. Now, for this exercise, to keep it simple, you can just go to the select recipient, okay, and there are options. We can add a new list, we can get it from the Outlook contact, but we are going to use it from our existing Excel list, right? So that's why we will click use existing list, and then it will ask you to identify where your source is. All right, so let me get my source. You would most likely save it on a folder under your name or wherever your file is. You will just navigate to that path. I just cut and paste to save time. So my Excel file structure or my sample template file in Excel is here. Okay, so I select that file and click open, and it will show me the sheets, all the sheets in the Excel file, because you might have more than one worksheets in one workbook of Excel file, right? So here we have to identify which of the worksheet has our data which we want to bring into this Word document. Okay, so mine is in sheet 1, so I will click OK, and as you can see now, all these fields all of a sudden now they are visible, right? Which means one thing, that your linkage of Excel data file with the Word file is successful. Okay, you can further prove that by clicking on this field called insert merge field, and when you click there you will see the list of all the fields which we had in our Excel file. So now these fields are available for us to use them wherever we want in our Word file. So I will show you a couple of those, the pattern how you will do it, and then You will follow the same pattern, same method, and you will insert all the fields in the respective places. Okay, so student ID will come here, right? So what is, where is the student ID? What is the field name for that in my Excel file? That is SID. So I will just click and SID will start appearing. You will notice that when a merge field is inserted in a Word file, that is uh, that is covered, or uh, that is there with the this double, less than, and greater than symbols. Okay, so that should tell you this is a merge field as compared to if you just type something manually. All right. Now the second one is the date. The undersigned person hereby enrolls as a student in North American College as of. So you will go back and you can put this date. Now again, as I said, you would know which field relates to this one. You can safely assume that for this exercise, fields are almost in sequential order. Okay. Now here is a little bit a trick, that name of the students. So how we want the name to be appeared. If you go back to the Excel file here, you will notice that the name of the student is actually in our Excel file is split into three different fields. So title, first name, and last name, right? So how will we add it into our Word template? That's very easy. All you have to do is just bring all those fields one after another. So it should start with the title. So you click on the title, then click on the first name, again go back and click on the last name. Now here I have to make a point. I want you to be paying attention that if you do like this, okay, so first field immediately followed by the second field, so they will come together. All right, there will not be a space in between. And how we can see that, at any point when you have some data already inserted here, some of the fields, you can anytime go to this option, preview result, to just see if your fields are actually fetching your data or not. Okay, so if you click here, now you see the student ID is started appearing, the date is appearing, and here you see the name. It is all coming together, right? So that's not very nice to read, right? It should be actually separated, first name and last name with the title of the name. There should be a space there. So how to deal with that? So you can either by in this mode or go back to your merging mode by just clicking on the preview results again. So at the end of this first field, just press one space. Okay, now be careful here. Do not press a space when your cursor is inside this field, like in this case. Okay, this will actually it's not the right way, and it will not show you the right result. If you see here, the space is there nicely, but first name and last name still does not have space, even though we thought that we have added a space there, right? In fact, in some cases, let me see, if you do this, it might not actually bring the data. Okay, so data is there, but there is no space. So to keep it simple, just go back to your field, and after the field, just press the space key. Or if you think this is a little bit complicated, let's do it one more time in a different style. So I do not have any field name here, so I will go to my field list, select title, and before I insert the second field, I will press a space key. Okay, go back, first name, a space key, and a last name again. So it's the same thing, but it's just with the spaces. So it's up to you, really. It doesn't make any difference, but it's just a matter of convenience how you feel comfortable doing that, right? So now if I go back to the preview result, you see that the all the three values have are separated with a space. Why is coming as first name and last name? That is because this is the data I have entered here, right? First name, last name. So if I had, for example, John here, John Smith, so that will show up there, right? Or your own name, so that will be reflected there accordingly. Okay. Now the next field is name of the program. So we'll go back and select here course field. Okay. Commencing on, again there is a date, expected date. I will not really mind if some fields are not matching, even though ideally they should. But the idea of this exercise is basically that you are aware that if you have to do this mail merge task, how would you do that, right? So in your own environment, you will be more aware of the field names and whatnot. So there will be less chances of inconsistency, right? But otherwise, you can use try to use the relevant fields. Okay. So for example, in city, if you put a province, that won't make much sense, right? So just use the field names. They are quite self-explanatory, but in some cases, if it is not clear, you can ignore that for the time being. Okay. So same way you will fill all the fields, and I will come at this point, okay, and show you the tuition fee, for example. Okay. Process is still the same, so I have the fee data here. Okay, I will go to the next one, book fee. Book fee. The next one is total fee. I'll go there and say total. So that's how the data will start appearing. There is still something which we have to do, which is the formatting of the data. But I would leave it in this video up to this point so that you can first of all complete the Word document template, Excel template, put some data there, 4-5 rows. You are welcome to have as many records as you want, and then link these files, insert the fields. I think that's quite a bit of task for you for this stage in this part 2, and in part 3 then we will see some of the a little bit advanced features, like how to format some of the data. For example, the numbers, if you want it with the properly displayed in with a comma and 2 decimal, there will be time, for example. Okay, let me put the time as well. So it is C start, class start, okay, something like that, and between 9 and then you will put C end, that's class end. So like you see here, it says 9:00:00 a.m. right? This is not a mission critical agreement, right? So classes doesn't have to start on the dot, like 9 o'clock and 0 second. So what might be a better format is to just show the hours and minutes rather than the seconds, right? So in the next part, when we will see the data format, we will format this fields to eliminate the seconds portion and just show it the hours and the minutes. And same way we will see some of the the number format, how to display the numbers properly. Okay. I hope it is clear. If you have any questions, get back to me and I will be more than happy to help you guys. Okay, thank you. Bye.